Hey, another great day for a ride. That's right. Get your motor running. 9:10 a.m. on a good Friday morning. Yeah, sun is shining. Kind of cool out there. Not a bad day. Geez, I was reading in the paper this morning that they have a freeze on federal employees that the president put out, and it suggests something about it's hurting the VA. Well, actually, it probably slows things down a little bit, but I don't think it hurts the VA. The VA here in Richmond is really good. I probably have some of the best doctors uh, in the area, especially this one little lady doctor that takes care of me. She does a heck of a job with diabetes. Her name is Dr. Gallant. Nice person. Watches out for me. If she watches out for me like everybody else, geez, she's something. She's pretty remarkable. Sort of stern though, but remarkable. Yesterday we had a get together of a few of the guys that have diabetes, and we sit down and talk for a couple hours and pass things back and forth about what's good, what's not good, and it's quite interesting. Quite interesting. But I understand in the United States here we have a ton of people that have diabetes, and you know they're not actually diagnosed with a problem. They just keep running around and doing what they're doing. And I don't know, something's causing it. There's got to be something in the food chain or whatever that causes this. We're told to stay away from all things that are white. As far as the food sources like bread and things like that, anything that's white you don't eat because starches are really bad for you. So you try to stay to the vegetable line, some lettuce, and of course fish and poultry. Steak every once in a while ain't gonna hurt you, but it's pretty good though. They do a nice job. I like to give them a big thanks. Thanks. That's the way it goes. Well, today's just another day in the zoo. Yeah, I got all my little animals here running around. They're scurrying around. And it keeps me pretty busy. So I kind of watch out for them. I had a fish, a while back. His name was Dave. I put him on the windowsill, and poor Dave, his water evaporated. I didn't take good care of him, and he was stuck to the side of the bowl. I really felt bad about Dave. But Dave passed, and we got two more fish, but I'm not allowed to take care of them. There's these little betta fish, if you put them next to each other, they get all flustered and want to break the glass and wring each other's neck. But we don't let them get too close. Yeah, today is good, not much to talk about today. It's such a beautiful day. I think I'm gonna probably go outside, other than a few of these little news tips that you get out of the paper in the morning when you're having your coffee. And let's see, there was like Donald Trump seems to be doing really well. He's meeting all the promises that he said he was going to do, which is nice. Which is nice. And the wall, of course, they're debating the wall. It's sort of a strain, but if you were to really think about it, the amount of people that cross the border and that come in here that don't really have jobs and end up being on social services or some other type of federal aid, it's quite costly. If you were to add up all that money, and it would be a sizable chunk of money, so I don't think they should really whine too much about building a wall. I think Mexico is upset because if these people come from other parts of South America and go through their country, they won't be able to come to the United States. They'll stay in Mexico and put pressure on Mexico. So the best thing for Mexico to do is Build a wall down there to keep them little buggers from coming in. Matter of fact, let's have walls all over the place, you know. Blue workers like that, you know, go out there and build a wall. That's, you know, that's maybe a couple of year job. Keep them out of trouble, make a few bucks, make a living for their families. We call them wall builders. Look at the Chinese, how long it took them, 1,000 years to build that wall over there? Man, that must have been a trip, you know, that must have been some tough stuff. How many people do you think it took to build that wall in China? It's quite big, you know. Well, walls keep things out, and it also keeps things in. Don't expect to run away. You're not going anyplace. You know, Canada, there's no wall in Canada. I mean, Canada's a lot like the United States. It's like a more softer version. The people up there are quite liberal, you know, and there's not that many of them actually. They don't let people go into their country. Like, you know, you want to go in there, you know, you have to have some sort of clearance. You just can't pop into Canada. A lot of people try it. I recall when I worked law enforcement up that way, we used to get quite a few people that tried to cross the border, and they would end up snagging them and bringing them down. We had some rentals. We had this large, like a warehouse. It was all set up with rooms and stuff. We used to put them in there. And, geez, it was every week, you know, you'd get 3 or 4 people that tried to cross the border. If they were felons or they had some problem, they just wouldn't let them across. And besides, in this day and age now, you have to have a passport. So you're kind of blocked from running away to Canada. And those people that said they were going to leave when Trumpy became president, you know, I don't think it would be that easy for them to. I really don't. They can apply for it, but I don't know if they'd let them across. You probably better stand a better chance going to Vermont. Yeah, Vermont lets everybody in. That's the way we looked at it. Yeah, when I lived up that way, I used to work over in Vermont, in Burlington. This guy Sanders, he was the mayor at the time. He was a pretty good guy. He used to come over to this city on the other side of Lake Champlain. It was a sister city to Burlington. And they'd have bed races. They'd have all sorts of competition. He was just a good old boy. There was this little guy named Clyde Rabbit, who was our mayor at the time, and he was quite the little bugger. He was actually a very good political person. He also came from a construction background, which is sort of ironic that good people come from construction backgrounds. But he did good. Him and the mayor used to have bed races, and they used to sail around Valcour and all sorts of crazy little things like that. You know, a little competition to get things going. But in that area in New York, they considered that like a recreational area to draw in people to the lake and stuff like that. They weren't much in gathering up large companies like IBM went to Burlington, and other large companies that made their economy really flourish. But on the other side, the politicians didn't want anything to do with that. As a matter of fact, they wanted to build a racetrack, NASCAR racetrack on the old airport at one time. You see, the Air Force Base had left, and the county acquired the Air Force Base, so they had this piece of property. And it was the old Plattsburgh Airport, and they wanted to put a NASCAR track there, which would have been good because you're 50 miles from Montreal, 100 miles from Albany, large metropolitan areas. When it came to Plattsburgh, it really gave it quite a boost, but unfortunately they sort of stuffed that, as you would say. But other than that, today's good. And let's see, got to tell you something while I'm here. When I was a little kid, what I used to do. Yeah, oh yeah. When I was so poor when I was young, you know, that my mom couldn't afford a sandbox. So I used to play in the litter box. And every morning when I got up, there was always a load of logs to take out of there with my truck. That's right. So today I was thinking maybe I ought to put myself one of these construction cranes over top my litter box over here and I could do it remote control, you know, that'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Well, you have a nice day. Say hi to my sister in Phoenix, you little bugger. Hope you're having a good time and staying warm and you don't get flooded out and meteors don't hit you and stuff. You too, Charlene. You be good. We'll catch you later. Bye-bye.